What up, guys? This is Jesse and Jerry with the Play On Podcast, episode 113, Champions League week, Premier League inexistent, never happened. This season, for some reason, they decided to, what is it, boycott it. It was a lockout year.
Yeah, it's not a real league either way.
Nothing happened, but yeah, Champions League final is this Saturday. They're playing earlier than usual. They usually play at 2 p.m., but now they're playing at 11 a.m. just because they're in Budapest. And they're in Budapest, right?
I don't know.
They're in the,
Depending on the result, it might not even be real too. So,
yeah, they might. I heard that they might cancel it, depending on the result.
isn't it kind of crazy? Because uh, today was the Conference League, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
But also last week on Thursday it was like Europa League. Didn't they usually play on the weekends, like before the Champions League? Like, wh why weekday? That's so random to hold.
No, the conference league, before the conference league, before it used to be the Europa League on Wednesday final, like there was a final for the Euro. Oh my God, the Europa League final was on Wednesday before the Champions League final, which was on Saturday. But for some reason, I think they're doing it now where the Europa League is last week Thursday before the Champions League final, and now they're pushing like the Europa League. I mean, not the Conference League, which I don't get why they're pushing the Conference League so much. They should be the other way around because like just based on hierarchy. But I get it. They're trying to get viewers and get more people to watch the Conference League. But yeah, Crystal Palace won it. No one really cares. You're expected to win versus a Rayo Vallecano team that had like no money invested into their football club. But yeah, congratulations. I guess you won.
It's not real.
But yeah, it's the Conference League is not the best thing in the world. It would be if English teams weren't in it. That's the only thing.
Just England in general, like let's just get rid of it.
But yeah, we have the Champions League final between Arsenal and PSG. The supercomputer is predicting Arsenal to win. I
I'm
get why it's
surprised.
doing it.
I'm
I'm
not
not.
surprised.
I'm not. I'm not surprised because they
I
have
get
like
it.
the better defense and
No, 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 no. It's not that. We know why.
why is that?
We all know why. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's because the refs have been helping him because of the agenda that they've been putting on. Let's not kid ourselves. We all know why.
Put your
They
tin
just
hats on.
let's just all think about it straight. They had the easiest side of the bracket that I've seen in forever.
Hmm.
They've had how many calls go their way? They've had the refs help so many times. Let's not even mention like the Premier League. We're talking about this one. Let's think about the last series or like the last where is it, the semifinals against Athletic Madrid. They've had calls go their way. Like they should have they could have lost against that if the ref didn't help them at all. So like let's be real.
Not even that. They should have never passed around the 16s because remember the Leverkusen game, that one penalty they called, the ghost
Yeah,
penalty?
let's just be honest. We all know why, because they're just trying to do something because they're trying to get this agenda through. So let's just call a spade a spade.
So yeah, we're all hoping for the almighty PSG to win and this Saturday. But yeah, in my opinion, I think PSG should be heavily favored. I think we all know it because of the way they play football, the way they exploit teams and how good they are. Compared to Arsenal, they've been like just praying. Like when they won their title in the Premier League,
It's not a
it
real
was like
title.
it was like
They didn't
legit
win
just
anything.
1-0 games this past week because they're too afraid to lose.
Yeah,
And a
it's not a
bunch of
real
calls
title.
going their way on top of that too.
Not a real title. Not a real season. Didn't happen. I refuse to accept it. It's under protest. Did you hear the stat? They're the first team ever
Oh yeah.
in the Premier League to never get a red card during the season and to get, the other team to get a penalty.
Yeah, that in this age and VAR, where pretty much every team has a penalty in favor or against, it's unheard of.
And this coming from the team that's literally playing football on every corner.
Yeah. They slowly stopped. I think that became inexistent recently. So I think that's why they're gonna. No, I'm not saying they're playing any better football. I think
No,
they're
no, no. I mean, they still do it. They just don't get
yeah.
it called against them. Other teams can't do it to Arsenal, but they could still do it to other teams. We're literally living in a Shea situation right now.
This is probably the worst football that specific team that plays since 2018. That 2018 year was horrible, and this is probably the worst. 2018 as a season for every single team was so bad because it was like tactically everyone's playing defensive. This is just Arsenal doing it in 2026.
I I just say this is the worst football I've ever seen in my life, and arguably the worst football in history of football.
Dembele, I just need a hat trick from you, bro. Please.
Listen,
Due scored another.
listen. All I gotta say
Brace.
is Kvaratskhelia, he's gonna be that right back. He's getting cooked.
Yeah, who's their right back? Because Ben White is injured, right?
They've been playing Mosquera there.
So Mosquera's gonna bad day to be Mosquera.
I don't know if you've seen. I think I sent it to you. How Arsenal fans are talking about them.
No,
I sent. There was this one I saw of Arsenal fans comparing their title winning team to what was it, 2009 Barcelona?
it doesn't. Even Valdez is a better goalkeeper than Raya.
Yeah, guess how many Barca players made that in the comparison that they made? Guess how many
Probably one
Barca
or
players?
two.
Zero.
Yeah, they're delusional. Delusional, delusional. And this is the only reason we didn't want them to win. If they weren't this delusional, no one would care.
Yeah,
I
and
would have
then
celebrated. I supported Arsenal at one point, but then they started getting like this, and I'm like, bro, you guys haven't won anything.
you see the agenda they have currently saying that Saka should win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, no, my
This
boy didn't play for a half a season.
the man that disappeared for all year, the man that has what is it, 6 goals and 3 assists, goal contributions in the Premier League, that's gonna win you a Ballon d'Or. And they said that's not even considering how he does in the World Cup. Like the man's gonna do anything in the World Cup.
He's not even starting in the World Cup.
Like
It's pathetic. But
it's yeah,
yeah, if you had to predict right now the scoreline for Saturday, what is it going to be?
7-0 PSG.
I think 5-0 PSG.
Yeah, PSG, you gotta give them the worst humiliation ever just to make me soothe the rage that's built up on me by having this what did not happen.
Same.
Also,
Same.
I gotta say, Pep Guardiola's reputation is tarnished with me. He allowed this to happen. It's literally whenever
Nah, nah, nah. You can't blame it on Pep, bro.
he didn't start Turkey,
Oh, not even that. That one, yeah, he's like he lost it, but like a lot, like you said, a lot of the calls for Arsenal went their way, but a lot of the calls for Man City went against them so many times this season.
but he did not help himself.
He didn't help himself at the end of the season. At this point, you're pretty desperate. If anything, he probably had a gun to his head, pointed by like the Premier League commissioner, saying like either you start Kovacic, who hasn't played all year, over your best player Cherky, or you're dying.
Yeah, because it has to be because like that's why he had to retire because he's like
Maybe
I
that's why
can't.
he lost his wife. The Premier League commissioner took his wife away because
She's kidnapped. She's currently. That's why he retired this year. He's like I can't live through that another year because he's been the most stressed I've ever seen him. And you saw he immediately left Man City or Manchester and just went straight to Barcelona. He's like,
I'm telling you, his life was on the line. It's either yeah, we're making up the thing that your wife is divorcing you. No, it's like no. The Premier League commissioner had a gun to your head and you had to let Arsenal win last season. And you didn't, and they took your wife.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But
The way they were moving,
yeah, it's crazy. But is Maresca confirmed or is he still like
I
he's
want to say like 95% like confirmed. I
yeah,
don't think they've officially announced it, but it's like like unofficial sources have all but confirmed. I think it was a 3-year deal that he signed.
yeah. And as far as like the charges, I know like that's becoming a topic for them. It looks like it's gonna be mostly hefty fines and like transfer bans rather than point deductions and title strips.
Yeah.
Because yeah, Arsenal doesn't get their way. They're not gonna get another title. This is their first title, their only Premier League title they're gonna get in like 20 years.
It's not a real title, Jared. I refuse to. As far as I know, the title for this year is vacant. It never happened.
I'm
It
telling you
might
that
as well be
that
COVID.
stat is weird. It's completely weird to have no penalties called against you and no red cards.
And think about it. The whole even when Man City versus Arsenal versus Man City game, Gabriel should have had a red card when he literally headbutted Haaland and got away with it. Like that's a 3-game ban. He shouldn't have been available for the next like 2 games, but yet it was perfectly fine.
I mean, the Premier League president or commissioner, whatever you want to call it, he did come out saying like we can't have a team win 6 times in a row because that diminishes our competition. So they were itching for a new title holder. That wasn't Man City.
Well, last year they met Liverpool won.
Yeah. But it was like kind of a perfect storm because for Arsenal, other than like getting a bunch of help, because Chelsea was mediocre. Like they're going through like a dumpster fire. Tottenham was bound relegation bound. West Ham got relegated. Man City wife the coach's wife got held hostage. Liverpool just internal fighting. Like it was a perfect storm. All this had to happen for Arsenal to even get help to win the Premier League. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I just want anyone to know this is a PCA. If you're an Arsenal fan and if you come up to me and you think you're gonna be funny, don't, because you're just in game. Something might happen. I just want you to know.
But yeah, so yeah, that's our prediction. We both got PSG. There's no doubt about it. We're not sugarcoating it. We just think the coach is a tactical mastermind compared to Mikel Arteta. You can only defend for so long. You eventually have to attack, and they're not going to be
Oh,
willing to attack.
it's literally the comparison is atomic bomb and a crying baby. One is inaptitude and one's an actual person. That's a difference between coaches. And if you don't understand who I'm talking about, then you're the problem.
Exactly. But moving on. All right, what do we got? Transfers, I guess.
Transfers. Well, Aston Villa won. Good for Unai Emery. He's got like five Europa League titles or six, I want to say. Where
He
is
has
it?
he has a bunch of rings.
He's got good and good on him because he always does his job. Because how many he has like what three with Sevilla,
3 or 4 with Sevilla.
one with Villarreal,
I'm looking it up. Uh-huh.
and then now this. So it'd be five or six.
I am looking it up. Europa League titles. He has 5. So
Yeah.
Sevilla beat Benfica, with Sevilla being the Dina Pro. With Sevilla again defeated Liverpool. With Villarreal defeated Man United, and then recently the Aston Villa beating Freiburg. Hey man, he does his job. If you want to win a Europa League title, you gotta pay Emery his money.
Yeah, and that's four of those are before it became of a joke of what it is now.
Hmm.
Like those are legit. Like you said, that's Liverpool, that's Man U. That's when the teams that were
Benfica.
eliminated in the Champions League would immediately drop down and get a free passageway into the knockout rounds
Yeah,
in the
the
Europa League.
third places. That's when
Hmm.
it was actual competition, and now it's like kind of
It's
diminished.
watered down. Yeah, it's a little
Hmm.
watered down.
Like it doesn't get like the Europa League used to be pretty interesting, you know. I kind of did like it beforehand. Now it's like
It's pretty
it
straightforward.
yeah. I think it'd be even again more like the Conference League, like if English teams weren't a part of it, because they'll be like pretty closer competition with similar budgets compared to like these Premier League giants that have a bunch of money. Keep in
Or
mind, they were all complaining that Man City has too much spending power, PSG has too much spending power, and then they end up having the same thing.
well, this is my problem with English fans because they were the most outspoken about how when the news of the Super League came out, saying that it's ruining the game when they are literally the exact prime example of what the Super League would have done. And they're
Exactly.
and they're like, well, sucks to suck, and they're being so shameless about it, like, well, it's not my problem. At least my league gets all the money and all the players like come here because the contracts offered are ridiculous. Like they're literally like 10 times what they can be offered in any other league besides like the top clubs.
Yep. I mean, maybe it was like whispers from the upper management paid protesters, Jesse, to have them protest the Super League. But hey, either way, like it still doesn't take away from Unai Emery being a born what is it, a natural born winner when it comes to Europa League.
Yep. And he makes like these clubs that like really struggled for years
Mhm.
competitive again. Because Aston Villa were struggling like bottom mid table in the Premier League. He comes in, they're constantly competing in the upper half of the table. He's an actual good coach, unlike who he was replaced in Arsenal.
I'm checking how did the Premier League table finish other than the terrorism on the top. So Man City second, Man United third, Aston Villa fourth. Liverpool fifth, Bournemouth sixth, Sunderland seventh, and Brighton eighth. Chelsea's out of European competition, so is Newcastle. Crystal Palace, I think they get an automatic spot next season since they won. And then Tottenham, yeah, all the way to the bottom. Interesting. Would have never predicted this at all.
Yeah. Well, let's get rid of fucking English media.
Yeah, so we do have transfer news. The biggest one today is that Barcelona claim again. It's so funny that the Bayern Munich CEO talks so much shit about Barcelona having no money. Bayern Munich was linked to Anthony Gordon since the beginning of January. They had talks with Newcastle this morning or like yesterday. Barcelona had one link to Anthony Gordon and they signed him within 12 hours. And they just dunked on the Bayern Munich CEO, pretty much showing that we do have money. But yeah, Barcelona signed Anthony Gordon. Huge surprise. No one was expecting it. I didn't think so,
Hmm.
but I like the buy. I'm a fan of it. It is the English tax, unfortunately, but I think it's a pretty good buy.
Yeah, well, we're on opposite ends. Jerry really likes by. I feel like considering the transfer sum and then just what he brings in, I feel like it's could have been used better somewhere else, and there probably could have been someone else. But I don't know. I'm looking at it from a different perspective from Jerry, but maybe he works out. Maybe it goes completely different because I feel like when Rafinha went to Barca, it was a lot of negative thoughts, and it's obviously turned out really well for Barcelona.
Yeah.
So maybe this could be a similar situation to that. But I
Keep in
just feel like
mind, the thing you said is last season, well, yeah, this past season that just happened. You said that when Rafinha was out of the pitch, that the pressing pretty much went away.
hmm
Anthony Gordon is a player that presses a lot and he presses well. So I think that's why it's a good idea. So it's not that you just don't have one engine anymore, you have two. And yeah, again, I think we're talking before the podcast saying that you said that you that they should have just signed Marcus Rashford because it's like what is it, a third of
it's
the price?
he's like what 20, 30, depending like 30 million.
Yeah, and the reason I was still seeing a bunch of Twitter things going on, but they're saying that like the salary cap, it was cheaper to sign Gordon because it'll be like 24 million that he'll take up in space in salary cap space compared to Marcus Rashford, where it would have been like 34 million. So they said that's why it was cheaper. Plus, is a cheaper player. Plus, is the player that also could fit in the system that Flick wants, which is high pressing. Because yeah, a lot of the goals did come from that left side that didn't press well. But yeah, again, it's a good buy. There's still a rumor going around saying that Barcelona is not done, that they're still looking for a striker. Still interested in Joao Pedro for some reason. Um,
Which also won't be
n-
cheap at all.
no, not at all. Even our Chelsea's saying that he's not for sale unless it's for like 120 million. So I think we shouldn't go for him. I think we could probably get a better option. If you're gonna even spend 120 million, you might as well go for Julian Alvarez, who is not renewing for Atletico Madrid, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like that doesn't solve the problem because I just don't feel like he's a true and out striker. I feel like if they were going for like I feel like if they do go for Julian Alvarez, I just feel like they shouldn't just call it a striker just because he's more of a secondary striker. He's just more he is gonna press and do well for Barcelona. I just feel like if they actually want a striker, I feel like the what I mostly see linked to them, and I think somewhat makes sense is Osimhen because and especially because Lamine Yamal's been pushing for him a lot.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's you're spending a lot of money on a position that isn't of need per se. Because like you said, Anthony Gordon's left wing. Where's Rafinha can play if he's there?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where they play Rafinha. I don't know. I think there's still gonna be sales being made. I think there's gonna be a surprise sale that no one's gonna expect because more than likely it's either gonna be Rafinha or Fermin that's gonna be sold this summer. I think it has to be one of those two because say Gordon does play the left side, right? The Lamin's on the right. No one's removing Lamin. The striker's still in question unless you're gonna play Rafinha as striker, or the obvious solution is play Rafinha as the cam. But who plays that cam? It's Dani Olmo and Fermin as well. So
But don't
there's gonna be a surprise sell.
don't forget Gabi's also finally back in the squad after his
Yeah,
injury issues. But I feel like Fermin's probably can be a struggle to sell him, especially after him coming off an injury.
maybe, but I think there's still a hype around it. Maybe he gets included in the Joao Pedro deal, which I don't. I think it's a possibility. But again, it's not even selling the player. It's like you could agree with the club, but even then, the player's gonna have to agree to leave because we've seen situations where De Jong, like the Man U and Barca came to an agreement to sell De Jong, but De Jong refused to sign the contract and refused to leave. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting summer. I again did not expect this Barcelona to sign Anthony Gordon at all.
Yeah, I my biggest problem is I feel like they should have allowed because they spent so much on him that I feel like they should have a lot allocated a lot of the budget on that defense, especially on the side back positions, because that was a real issue for Barca this past season. And every club is looking at the fullbacks now because I swear there's so few good ones left in the world right now. So being able to get one is just gonna be more expensive than it's supposed to be just because there's so few options.
Yeah, I think Barcelona right now is linked with Senesi, the Bournemouth
But that's a center
Argentina's
back.
the Argentina left center back. They're also linked with Cambiaso, the Juventus left back. Grimaldo has been thrown in there. I think right back. I don't think we're gonna get anyone, but I think we might sell Koundé because he had a horrible season. So they could probably try to get as much money as they can. Chelsea, you're in the market. What's up? But yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna be an interesting summer. I wasn't expecting this, but if anything, it might be in the right direction. Also, Barcelona's also linked with Harry Kane, by the way.
I feel like that's a pro. I feel like that's a mistake by Barca because I feel like it doesn't fit their system at all.
Harry Kane, I think it does. It's
You just heard about pressing. He negates all of that.
well, I think he not necessarily too much of on the pressing, but he does like drop back deep and like can break lines. And obviously he's a fantastic striker and he's clinical, so
Yeah, but I feel like that limits what his teammates can do. Because if Lamine Yamal is like the creative force for Barcelona going forward,
mhm.
and he thrives on having like with like players like Ferran Torres who will like make the run for him and like so he can make that pass and create chances. But if Harry Kane's dropping back, who's gonna make those runs for him?
Well, obviously Harry Kane is not going to constantly drop back, but he can. But I think it's
Yeah,
an interesting piece if they do get him.
yeah, I just don't think it makes sense.
I right now I don't think it's even possible because of the whole feud Barcelona and Bayern Munich have at the moment with their boards fighting and like taking digs at each other. So I don't think it'll be possible. Who I would like at Barcelona was Gurasi, the Dortmund striker. I think he's fantastic. If it's not Osimhen, it's him. I think they go for like similar price tags. So a lot. It's gonna be a long summer.
You're telling me it's gonna be a long summer in Madrid too. We're just waiting for it to happen after these presidential elections.
Oh, for real, right? There's an actual competitor and it's an actual threat to Florentino.
Yeah, because it's more like because obviously there was a lot of discourse this year about like a lot of fans wanting Perez out. They were saying he's a problem. He was a fault for why this happened. Um, so there's a lot of people that are sided with him just because of the past 2 years of how badly it's gone, and
Yeah.
a lot of the blame being with Perez, especially with the falling out of how Arbeloa and like the firing of Xabi Alonso, and it's basically like you sided with the wrong person, Perez, and you've made this problem even bigger because it jumped. It's not only that it was in the dressing room, it came out from the media, and we know what happened, especially with the fight with like Valverde and Tuchemani and all these other things. So he's come in and he's like offered like he's also younger, so you know how it's like it split the crowd because there he's saying the things that people want to hear.
Yeah.
I still haven't decided which side I'm on because he could say a lot of things, but it's like any political race. Like he won't say, he could just say it, but he won't pull through with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's also been saying a lot of things that I just don't believe. He said that he already has two superstar signings confirmed.
From the Spanish national team, right?
One of them is in the Spanish national team.
I think it's Rodri who he's like talking about or hinting to because he has been linked to him.
Yeah, but
Um,
I'm like, first of all, I don't want that man.
and it's going against what Florentino thought was gonna happen, right? Because what
He
Florentino did was like advance the elections because normally he goes like unrivaled.
He was expecting to go unrivaled, and especially because it got pushed up so much. Because I think the next one was supposed to be in like 2028, so
Yeah,
he pushed it for a whole 2 years early. So the guy said, "Yeah, it was a surprise to me, so I had to like rush all my plans." That's why it was in between. He might not even run because he's like, "Oh, it's I wasn't prepared for this." And
yeah.
then also to run for president, you have to have 200 million in guarantees. And then no bank was willing to guarantee that for him. So he had in Spain, so he had to get like a guarantee from somewhere else. I can't remember where.
Yeah, because all the banks in Spain are like linked to Florentino.
Yeah. So that's currently going on. So Jose Mourinho, who's basically confirmed as coach, can't be confirmed because of this situation. And every signing has basically can't be signed right now that they were going for, like, or the players that were going for it, they can't be signed until this situation is settled. And basically, if there's an upset, it could change the whole transfer plan of how things go. Because I've said, Mourinho was chosen by Perez because there's no current sporting director. But the new guy, Enrique Riquelme, he says that he will install a new sporting director. So he might just scrap every plan that Perez has and just change the squad. And there's also no negotiation for contracts because Vinny still hasn't signed. So he might just sell him or like
Or
not
leave on a
negotiate.
free.
Yeah, so like it could change the whole plan. So it's like everything's up in the air for Real Madrid's transfer plans.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have a conspiracy, putting my tinfoil hat back on. I think the board also is helping out the rival because I think the board is split. They're not happy with what happened this season. So clearly, well, 2 seasons. They probably do want to change. So maybe some of the board was able to help the other like competitor rival to try to even get those funds because, like you said, like no bank wanted to fund them. So who knows?
And well, more things to go to throw in your conspiracy hat, Jerry. Florentino's because he had a Twitter account for his election. It got taken down. It got reported and got taken down, and then I think it took him like it got a couple hours later, but it was still taken down that and everyone was surprised by that.
Yeah, it's as a Barcelona fan, this is what I thrive for. Everyone was talking about Barcelona's downfall. Now I get to sit back, eat my popcorn, and watch Real Madrid pretty much crumble. Well, again, it could be a pivotal moment for Real Madrid. They could either go one way and try to steer the ship right, or just keep aiming at that glacier.
Yeah, so I don't know how it's gonna go. I wonder how it is because remember this summer we are before this election and like everything, it was still supposed to be planned for a major squad overhaul and changes around it. So it looks like either way there is gonna be major changes to the squad
Yeah,
because either one I think does change the squad a lot, and especially if the new guy comes in, he's gonna want to put his people into like these spots, so it is gonna be an even bigger overhaul.
it definitely would be. Uh, it's funny. I think Florentino's gonna win because of the uncertainty with the new rival because they haven't had a what an owner that not an owner like a president that wasn't Florentino in how many years?
Since 2009.
Yeah, so people, I know the older crowd is pretty much going to vote for Florentino. It all depends on the younger crowd. And if you split it, say 50-50, then even then I think Florentino wins.
Yeah, and now he's had to rely on getting endorsements from former players because he's never used this before because he wasn't expected to like be in the situation, but now he's even because I know he's asked like Benzema to post about it, like Ramos, like he
Don't
like
ask Iker
Carvajal,
Casillas. Don't ask Iker Casillas.
he's not, yeah, he's got Carvajal, he's got like a couple former players like to like actually post about like
I'm
for
surprised he
the
asked Carvajal and that Carvajal to do it as well because they didn't offer you a contract renewal.
well, but they did offer right after his injury, they offered him a new contract because his contract was supposed to run out.
Mm.
So he said, yeah, that really touched him because he's like, I just got a major injury that might have ended my career, but you offered me a new contract, so
Yeah.
he's sticking by him. He doesn't blame him, he blames other people.
Arbeloa,
Yeah.
man. I think Arbeloa sat down Carvajal because
He was his replacement.
yep, the exact same thing happened. Oh yeah, and other news. Did we talk about it? Yeah, Trent's not going to the World Cup.
Yeah, but I just feel like I feel like there's been surprising decisions in every World Cup squad where I'm like they didn't make the right choice. Because
Because
also
Phil Foden,
Cole Palmer, he took Noni Madueke.
he Premier League winner, Jesse, Premier League winner.
Don't you try to don't you know those words
Hey, if
don't make
anything, this helps out us cheering
it,
on England to lose.
it does, but it does like Thomas Tuchel, like what's in your brain right
They
now?
said secret agent that he's going back to Germany to like thriving. He's gonna get a
Yeah,
like what a guard of honor when he flies back to Germany after the World Cup.
I wouldn't be surprised because that's quite like what?
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting picks, but I don't mind it. I didn't think I was talking to Tony, Lou's best friend, and he's a Real Madrid fan, and I thought towards the end of the season Trent was doing pretty well.
He
Even
was.
defensively, he was
Yeah.
recovering very well. He knew that he can't outpace him, but he knew that he could like in the Barca game, he was outbodying uh what's it called, Fermin. And he was doing fantastic. I'm like, I didn't see this before in Trent, and now for him not to be called up, I thought it was gonna be pretty much like guaranteed, but I don't know who's playing right back. Kwanzaa, I think.
I don't yeah, Jared, I don't know, man.
Hey man, Tumba's still good. If anything, you're doing the Lord's work. Thank you.
He's literally yeah, man. That squad selection was I'm surprised. I saw that
I'm not
squad
mad.
list and I saw Noni Madueke. I'm like,
Yeah, I love it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. But any other news?
oh, I just remember Iraola was linked to AC Milan, which
Oh,
I thought
please don't.
I'm like, oh, that's a surprising one, but apparently that's fallen through because the transfer budget they offered him was like low, and he's like,
It's good. Stay away from AC Milan because they didn't qualify for Champions League. Como qualified,
yeah,
and what AC Milan did was pretty much fired the coaching staff and like a bunch of the board members. So except for Zlatan, like you said.
yeah.
So it's like I think it's just a dumpster fire. So don't touch. Iraola for the good of your career. Go to I can't even think.
There's like no one. There's nowhere because
Ah,
all the spots are taken. Like I said, I think he goes to Crystal Palace.
you think so?
There's no other job openings. All the Serie A
Ah,
ones, they just basically rotated coaches, and no one offered Thiago Motta a job, which is still crazy. Um, Chelsea, Xabi Alonso, Man City, Maresca, Manu, Carrick,
but I mean
Tottenham
he could stay in
Hotspurs,
Bournemouth.
they're
They did
serving.
qualify Europa.
But no, they said that they're moving on. I think they got a new coach.
That's interesting. Because Chelsea, yeah, they got one. Maybe the Newcastle job.
Maybe. But is that really like a step up?
Yeah, it's not a step up because you just qualified to the Europa League and you're not going to stay in the same team. So it's like,
And plus, it's like all but rumored for your squad to be butchered this summer because the first no, Alex Gordon's out. Tonali's like linked to like everyone. Same with like Bruno's been linked away. Who's the other one that they have?
for who,
Uh, th-
Newcastle? Gordon
yeah,
just left.
yeah. Ultimate, it's been linked going back to Germany because he feels unsettled. The both your right back and left back are linked away. Lewis Hall's been
Dan
linked
Burn
with
is linked
Manu.
away too.
Yeah, Lewis Hall, Dan Burn, Livermento's linked to Man City. Like that's
Go
a
to
lot of
go to
squad.
Dortmund.
Didn't they just resign their coach for like another 2 years?
I don't know. I think it'll
That's
be a
what
good fit.
that's what yeah, but they get their coach. That's what I'm saying. There's like nowhere else.
Maybe I think he maybe goes back to Spain and joins like Sevilla, oh, who just got a new ownership in Sergio Ramos. Maybe,
I,
but even then it's gonna be difficult because again it's a challenge.
yeah, but if he brings them up, I think that's a great CV. That's great for your CV. And plus,
It
he's great at developing talent. And with their new transfer plan of like, because they're linked with from Barca, what's his name?
Krupi? Wait, who?
Sevilla. They're
Oh,
linked
Tony
to
Fernandez.
yeah, Tony Fernandez, and then their supposedly new transfer plan of raiding academies, which we think is a great idea because young talent, there's a lot of young talent that's being unused.
Disgruntled young talent.
Yeah. So
There's the Real Betis too who qualified for Champions League. So they have I know they have Mancini, but Mancini is on the older side. And but yeah.
Mancini, I thought was Billy, isn't that?
Pellegrini, my bad, yeah. But any last things, Jesse?
Oh, Robertson joined Spurs.
He got a payday.
Yeah, I just
But if anything, Jacobs hits women. He's a woman abuser. Don't follow the Packers. If anything, thank you for watching this podcast. Peace.
he's
Fuck the Packers.